What's up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's episode of the Not Your Average Mark Wrestling Podcast. I am your host. I am the tutorial boss Guapo, and sitting with me live in Not Your Average Mark headquarters is the man who taught Paul Levesque how to grow a beard, the one, the only, Mike Caldwell.
Man, what an introduction that is.
Hey, I tried, Mike, what's up, man?
I'm having a good day. How about yourself?
I am. We're live on the Not Your Average Mark Wrestling Podcast.
Hey. It's been a minute.
It has. We had the whole Nightmare on 19th Street thing. It was an awesome time. If you didn't go, you missed it. Just saying.
Hey, you can always go back in February.
That's right. February, we're going to do it again. But before we get too deep into everything, of course, I've got to do my thank yous. I want to thank Labor 12 for our intro outro music. Track's called Head Rush, album's called Monsters. Find it anywhere you get your streaming music. Make sure you check out all the stuff they've got going on. Head over to labor12.com. That's laborxii.com. I want to thank American Legacy for the Not Your Average merch. Got our hats, got our beanies, got our skull caps, got our shirts incoming. They take care of us as it pertains to merch. So big thank you to Joseph and American Legacy. Thank you to J-Ribs 3D Printing. See this little piece of awesomeness right here? That's a J-Ribs 3D Printing original. Our boy J-Reb did that for us. It is very, very awesome. J-Reb, of course, over in the chat. What's up, brother? Cameron, glad to see you. If you've got any designs that you'd like turned into a light box like this one, jrebs3dprinting.com. Big thank you to heckyeahradio.com. If you happen to miss one of the podcasts, you can go to heckyeahradio.com, click on the button that says Not Your Average Mark, and you can find all of our audio podcasts. Big thank you to Blind Ambition Studios for all our awesome graphics. TheWrestlingSociety.com for including us in their podcast room. You can go there and check out the podcast. And of course, the one that makes everything work, makes this look good, which is hard to do. I already know that's hard work. Big thank you to the guy. He's done a lot of hard work, and the thing he's worked hardest on is the website. So make sure you check it out. NotYourAverageMark.com. Of course, we've got it up there in the chat right now. BCWProWrestling.com. We got some things rocking on that. You can get your tickets for the show there now. You can check out a few of the roster. Mm-hmm. So make sure you check that out as well. And speaking of BCW, this Saturday night, live in Levelland, Texas, TMW Event Center, BCW Draw the Line.
Yes, it is. Now, normally when we do this, it's you asking me why.
It's because I'm the host.
I know, but guess what? You're the man in charge now.
Damn, you're right.
I get to ask you all the good questions this time.
It is my monkeys. It is my circus.
Damn. Yes, very much so your circus. It's still my circus too, but
no,
I get to ask you about all the monkeys now. You're the monkey keeper.
I'm the monkey. Well, we do have, before we get into it, we do have a great lineup coming up on this show. But before we talk about the matches, we'll get serious for just a minute about what this show is about. Of course, November is known for having Veterans Day. And this is a Veterans Appreciation show. We here at the podcast at BCW Pro Wrestling, we can't thank our veterans enough for the fact that they went out and they have served to make sure that we can do something like this podcast, that we can put on shows like BCW Pro Wrestling's Draw the Line. And we could not be happier. We could not be more appreciative. And to show that, anybody who is a veteran that shows up at the show Saturday, your ticket's on us. We want you to come in. We want you to enjoy the show as our thank you for what you do for us.
Absolutely. And, you know, a little known fact, we have several veterans that are on our roster. Mm-hmm. You know, Phoenix Marine Corps, Damo McCullough, Navy. Even Country Devil used to be in the Army.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's more. Some people like to keep their other life a little bit less out there. So, you know, but anybody that's served that's in our locker room, what's one of the things we're going to do is we're going to make sure that that they're appreciated as well.
Absolutely. And while we're throwing all these flowers out, got to throw a few of them at you for putting on a show like this. I mean, it's a huge opportunity to show appreciation to our veterans. So kudos to you for putting a show like this together.
Well, BCW has been giving back for
Yes.
a long time now, and we're going to continue to give back. That's just one of our things that we do.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of second nature at this moment in time, and I'm proud of that. Very proud of that.
As well, you should be. And I'm proud to be a part of something that can do that. We've got Lasco says, well, if it isn't two of my favorite people, says, what about survivors? Of course, the non-survivors are not quite going to make it to the show, I don't think.
Yeah.
But no, all joking aside, anybody that's a veteran, anybody that served our country, we want you to be at the show. Your ticket's on us. Please come enjoy yourself for a couple of hours away from the world.
Yes, this is definitely something that people do to escape. And, it could be something that keeps you on the brink of sanity. So please, please, please just come, lose yourself in it for a little while. Enjoy what we got for you.
And we've got quite a bit. Before we get into it, do want to say what's up to everybody in the chat. We've got J Rev, we've got Daddy Boss, we've got Mike Petty, we've got Lasco22. Glad to have all of you here. Thank you so much for choosing to join us tonight. Oh, it's Spalding.
Yes.
It's Spalding.
Well, Mr. Spalding, you already know your ticket's on me.
Absolutely. And if he ain't got you, I do. So there you go. So let's get into this for a minute. BCW Draw the Line match made, maybe an hour and a half ago.
That's right.
We have a triple threat that has been added to the card. Like I said, hour and a half ago. Got some messages. Apparently, we have 3 people that feel like they should be number 1 contender to the BCW Heavyweight Championship. And so we're going to have a triple threat to find out who it's going to be. We've got the American Tragedy Phoenix. We've got the not-so-friendly neighborhood Vato Emilio Guzman. And a returning last Maverick of West Texas, Ryan Justice, getting in on the action as well.
Yep.
This is huge.
Well, I'm glad to see that Ryan Justice is alive and well, considering the last time we actually saw him in West Texas, there was a couple of questions upon that.
That's true. So it's going to be good to have him in there. I can't stress enough how crazy this match is going to get. All 3 of these guys, superstars in every sense of the word. Put all 3 of them together in the ring and put a number 1 contendership on the line.
Okay. Can I give you one more? I'm gonna go ahead and give you a raise. You throw your bet out there, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna see what you got, and I'm gonna raise you.
Oh, I thought I was getting a raise. I was like, man, how can we go? No, you're talking gambling.
No. Okay. Not only are we gonna have a 3-way, it is going to be an elimination 3-way.
Yes. Triple threat elimination match. Then that ups the stakes so much, because it's not just, who's going to get the pin first. It's you got to pin 2 people. You've got to eliminate 2 people to be the winner of the match.
You got to eliminate 2 people, or you can get yourself eliminated, because disqualifications do count, countouts do count. There won't be this nonsense of having a whole bunch of people throwing things in the ring and doing all kinds of different things, and it's not going to happen that way.
Old school rules.
It's frankly, BCW is about rules, and just the fact of the matter is, we've had a lot of triple threat matches here lately.
We have,
and I want to throw something different. I want to get something out there, and the main thing that I hear from a lot of wrestling media is, why are we doing the things that we're doing? Why is it just because we have 3 people that are going against each other at the same time, why is it that it's a no disqualification deal? Frankly, why not have some rules attached to it?
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly. So we've got a triple threat elimination match for the number one contendership. We've got our next match, and this is one that if you haven't been to BCW Facebook page, BCW socials, you really need to go watch the promos on this one because man, this is getting good. That being newcomer Chasing to Cash against the OTB Lilith Blood. That I don't know if this kid knows what he's asking.
Well, Lilith, whenever he asked for it to begin with, Lilith told him, "Hey, look, I don't think you want this smoke." And he came back and he said, "Not only do I want this smoke, I want it on November 9th." So,
I believe there was something about have your husband on standby and he'll beat her and any other hillbilly in the trailer park. It got ugly. You need to go watch these promos.
So, but it was like, "Well, you're going to wrestle me whether you like it or not." And the response was 2 words. I bet.
Look, I've never heard the words "I bet" sound more like "I'm going to kill you and tell everybody you died" in my life. Like, again, go to the socials, watch the promos because it's something else. This is going to be a match. I feel like it's going to be a learning tree kind of match.
Hey, we're not talking about the clown show.
Not that learning tree.
Hey, you're the one that brought it up.
This is going to be let me change it for you. It's going to be a woodshed match.
Yeah, it is going to be a woodshed
I don't
match.
know that Chasen knows what he's getting himself into, but I will say this. Like, having seen him in the ring, he's good. Like Lilith, it's not just going to be Lilith walks in and beats down somebody.
No,
like
absolutely not. You know, Chasen, he's already had 1 victory. He's had 1 match in BCW. Already had 1 victory. He's on a roll. He's got some momentum. You know, Lilith. You know, people may knock her down, but by God, she gets up every single time.
Every time. We've got we got Rick in the chat saying Chasen just wrote a check that his butt can't cash.
Yep. Well,
it's going to be a good one.
Only time will tell, and we shall see on Saturday.
We will. This is one of the matches I'm looking forward to most because this is, man, he said some things I wouldn't dare say to Lilith Blood. I'm just, go watch the promos. We also have a newly in the singles division because he's been in tag team for so long, Jason Zane. Going up against the good doctor, Marcus MD.
Okay. Tell me why.
Jason has been in a tag team for 10 years now, for a decade, with Nathan Briggs. The 2 of them have split. They're not tag team partners anymore. They're not tag team champions anymore. From the best I can tell, they're not even friends anymore. As a matter of fact, Jason Zane was ready to end the career of Nathan Briggs at our last show. Chair around his neck.
Thank goodness for Jarrett getting in there and doing what he had to do to make sure that didn't happen.
That's right. Well, Jason Zane has said he feels like a new man because he's dropped about 210 pounds. That being Nathan Briggs.
Okay.
And is ready to step out and show that he was the driving force all along. And his first person in his path is Marcus MD.
Yes. Someone who has been on the short end of the stick here lately. Doesn't really have a lot of momentum. Hasn't won a match.
Well, but when you look at who his matches have been against, he's been against Ced twice. He's trying to remember what his other match was. He had one more.
He had one against Atticus Wild.
Yeah, Atticus Wild, which it was at the last show, and that was a really good match, and it's close. So, Jason Zane got his work cut out for him because it's a very driven, very focused Marcus MD.
Well, I can almost guarantee that these guys are going to go out there and try to put the boots to one another, and they want to get that extra padding in their envelope, so to speak.
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good match. I'm looking forward to seeing how Jason Zane does as a singles competitor. Like, I haven't got the opportunity to see much of that because normally he's got Briggs with him, or if he's at Squared Circle Pro for a long time, he had Manimal with him. So seeing him in a singles setting, I'm looking forward to seeing
Well,
what he brings to the table.
I know that he brings a very vicious side to it because I have seen singles matches and we have had him in singles matches at BCW.
Well, he's been in the singles match, but Briggs
In
was
fact,
always right there.
The last match that Emilio Guzman lost was to Jason Zane.
But again, Briggs is right there.
Well, Briggs didn't have anything to do with that. Jason Zane took on Emilio himself, and then he got by. He skated by.
True.
But he got the victory. So, Jason is not somebody that is just limited to tag team wrestling.
No, and I'm not saying that he is. It's just it's been a while since I've seen him outside of the tag team.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how this one plays out. We've also got Victoria Mosh versus Fiona McPherson. Fiona McPherson making her debut with BCW.
Mm-hmm. So is Victoria Mosh.
So is Victoria Mosh. That's correct. And this one spans the state because this is an East Texas rivalry bringing itself to Levelland, Texas.
Mm-hmm. It sure is.
These two have been at each other for a minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you actually go back on some of the socials, you can actually see that these girls have been fighting one another, and
fighting is the right word.
And here's the deal, I've been asked by several people, is like, how come we don't have female wrestling here? One, I believe that sometimes.
I won't stop you. Don't make me have to say that the views of don't make me have to give the views thing.
No, just hear me out, okay? Usually, we have one of the best women's divisions in West Texas at Squared Circle Pro.
True. Those are facts.
Okay. So a lot of these girls have limited dates. So it's kind of hard to get some in, especially, Rick is doing a good job keeping the females busy.
Oh, absolutely.
So it just happened to be where, a few people asked me and I was like, okay, fine. We need to reach out and find a couple of girls, and these two happen to come up on the radar.
Well, I have gone back and looked at the some of the history of their battle.
Mm-hmm.
And battle's the word. These girls don't have matches; they fight, and they're bringing it to our ring. It's going to be awesome. Fiona McPherson will be my first time seeing her live. I've had the opportunity to see Victoria Mosh at Squared Circle Pro, and she's a brawler, man. She's scrappy.
Should be very interesting.
It will be, no doubt about it. We've got a handicap match that actually the origins of it started at the last Squared Circle Pro show.
Yeah. We ended up getting some fan footage with Draven Reeves and TJ Slater and Atticus Wild come out, give him a little bit of a shoulder check, try to bully him in there. And TJ said to him, "Hey, I'll see you at BCW."
Yep. And Draven obliged him that for sure. We got a message. Once we got that footage, of course, we reached out to Draven to see, what's this all about. And Draven issued a challenge. He said, "I'm TJ, Atticus, both of them. I don't care. I want Team Nefarious." So here we are. We have Draven Reeves versus Atticus Wild and TJ Slater.
So we have one man taking on the BCW old school tag team champions.
And not blinking an eye at it. No hesitation in this dude.
I know he's a certified go-getter, but I think he need to be going and getting a mental examination. Have you seen the size of TJ Slater?
Have you seen the size of the fight in Draven Reeves?
Yes, I have.
So, you have to weigh that in on this too.
Well, sometimes I think his heart goes before his butt, but
either way, he's not going to be disrespected. He was disrespected outside of Jake's, and he's not going to be disrespected. Now, you know what? I give you kudos for that, Draven, regardless of how this turns out.
Okay.
Team Nefarious, though, they've earned that name.
Mm-hmm.
They
For sure.
They are, and they've earned those BCW Old School Tag Team titles also.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be crazy, and it's gonna be live Saturday night. Make sure you get your tickets.
So I have one question for you.
Question me.
Okay. How is this going to end up working? Is it going to be a situation where Team Nefarious has to tag in and out? Or is it going to be one of the deals where it's going to be 2-on-1 the entire time?
No, it is. They will have to tag in and out. It's one of them in the ring at a time.
Okay, good deal. I'm glad you did a little bit of research on that and made sure that the real rules are going to be involved in this.
No, like you said, BCW does like to work within the rules, and since you made me GM, I've been doing my best to try to keep everything within those rules. And do I think facing them one at a time, Draven Reeves stands a chance against Team Nefarious? Yes, I do. Do I think he could take them both on at the same time? Not at all. That's too much to ask of pretty much anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So no, it will be one in at a time.
Okay. And they're going to have to apply the since they are the old school tag team champions, they should be able to have those old school rules intact, meaning they have one save, which is a warning.
Mm-hmm.
If they try to save again, they will be disqualified.
I'm good with old school rules.
It means a hand-to-hand tag, none of this chest or back or any of that other stuff. It's hand-to-hand. Okay.
I like it. That brings us to our next match, one that's been building for a while now. Team Guapo versus Team Ced. I get that look every time I say something about this match. Look, here's the deal. Ced's got to answer for what he did.
I get that.
I get the opportunity to beat up Chris Watson. How is this not a win?
Now, the views of Guapo.
This is my show, damn it. No, seriously, like, Ced is a threat, no question about it. He said he's going to come in, he's going to wreck house, and that's exactly what he's done. Christopher Watson, he has aligned himself with Ced because he doesn't like me, because I talk trash about him. Mm-hmm. Stop making it so easy.
Well, I believe you're taking Chris Watson a little too lightly.
I talk a lot of trash about Chris Watson, but I've said it before, I'll say it again. Outside the ring, yeah. But once he steps in those ropes, the man's an assassin, no question about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he is, once he steps in the ring, it's a whole different person. And I'm not taking that lightly at all. But see, on my side of things, I've got a little help too.
Yeah.
That knows a thing or two about being inside the ring as well. In one, Brandon Groom.
Yes.
The original BCW heavyweight champion.
Yes, very much so. Also, did his stint in WWE as well.
Mm-hmm. I've seen some matches. So, I know when I made mention of this, got a little laugh out of Chris Watson. So I would offer Chris Watson the same advice you give me. Don't take Brandon Groom lightly.
No, absolutely not.
But for me, this is a once and for all kind of thing. Ced and I have had our issues. Chris and I have had our issues. We're going to settle stuff.
Okay.
We're drawing the line.
Okay.
And one of us somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose. But at the end of this, it's the end of it.
Well, you better have a plan.
I've got one. Guapo always has a plan.
Okay.
And I got a plan to back up that plan and a backup plan for the backup plan.
Oh, do you now?
I've always got a plan.
Remember all right
that. Then. Daddy Boss 74 saying this match is worth the cost of the ticket.
Well, indeed.
It's going to be good. Speaking of good matches, we've got the the Texas BCW Texas title on the line. Our champion Logan Knight going up against the Thunderbird Damo McCullough.
Mm-hmm. Not only are they going against each other, it is going to be a Texas bull rope match.
That's right.
Now, do you know what the rules for a Texas bull rope match are?
I have seen different versions of the Texas bull rope match, and this I am leaving in your court.
Oh, really?
I mean, I can't do it all.
You can't do it all. I did it all.
Yes, you did. Which is why you'll be perfect at doing this.
All right. The fact of the matter is, okay, these two are going to be separated by a bull rope with a cowbell on it. It is going to get ugly.
Oh, no question about that.
And there will be no other weapons involved. There will be no other, no other kinds of involvement with anybody else. It's going to be man versus man, attached to a bull rope, first fall, pin, or submission only.
Now, you said something that begs the question. Are they allowed to use the bull rope as a weapon?
Yes,
are
they
are. Allowed to use the cowbell as a weapon?
Yes, they are. If it's attached to that bull rope, it is legal. Anything else? No.
And it goes to pinfall or submission?
Pinfall or submission.
Okay. I wish I could pick a winner in this. My mind goes straight to Damo McCullough. The Thunderbird's that's his game. He's gonna tear it up. But Logan Knight is a champion for a reason. He is good at what he does. And he's proven that on several occasions. Do I think straight up, throwing fists, Logan's gonna beat Damo? No, I don't. But I don't see Logan putting himself in a position where he's going to be straight up throwing fists with Damo McCullough. So
Logan is a very clever guy.
He is very clever. So I can't pick a winner in this. I want to say it's going to be Damo, but I can't count out Logan Knight. I've done it in the past and I've been wrong every time. So,
well, there is one other factor. That is the country double.
I was going to leave that one alone, but you did say man to man, no outside interference.
What is that?
What is what?
Look at the chat.
Phoenix has a message for you when you're ready. Okay, it looks like we've got a message from Phoenix. The guy has it queued up. Go ahead and play it, man. See what we got.
John Russell, here's the thing. You see, for the past couple of shows, I've been in nothing but triple threat matches with Justin Taylor and Jeb. I didn't get pinned. Then you got me going against Emilio and Ryan Justice. It's getting really old of me being in these triple threat matches whenever you know that I'm championship material. This Saturday, I'm going to prove it exactly why to you and to the fans.
That was yours. Huh. Well. All right, then. I mean, he's not wrong. He has been in some triple threat matches. I didn't realize he felt quite that way about it being a lot, but you know what? Phoenix, you have your opportunity here. You have an opportunity to show that you are the man, you are the one, and I look forward to seeing this match. I look forward to you showing me and the fans. So absolutely, I want to see this.
All right. May the best man win.
Absolutely. We've got two other things going on. We've got not quite sure yet where they're going to be, but we do have our champion, Jeb Bingham. Our BCW heavyweight champion, Jeb Bingham, is going to be there in action, as is the Lord of the Lariat himself, Mac the Franchise.
Okay.
So, all in all, that you're not going to get a better card. You can't put together a better card than what we have right now.
Well, I'm just as interested in as probably the rest of the people is where you have these two individuals.
I can't tell you everything.
Okay, that's fine.
I will say this: stepping outside of the matches and all of that, talking about our BCW heavyweight champion Jeb Bingham, birthday boy, from what I understand.
Yes.
Today is Jeb's birthday, so if you get the opportunity, head over to Jeb's social medias. Wish him a happy birthday, Jeb. From myself, from Mike, from everybody at the Not Your Average Mark Wrestling Podcast. Happy birthday, brother. Hope it's a good one.
Yes, absolutely.
So, I mean, that's it for BCW Draw the Line. What else can you say about a card like that? Get your tickets, Tobacco Express Liquors here or over in Leveland, or you can get them online, www.bcwprowrestling.com. Get them at the door day of. But make sure you get them.
Save yourself some money. Go buy Tobacco Express. Go to bcwprowrestling.com. As of midnight on the 9th, those tickets go up. Children's tickets go up to $10. Adult tickets go up to $18. Y'all need to save yourself some money and get it early.
Absolutely. Get your tickets early, and we can't wait to see you. You know, this is what I want you to do. I want you to get tickets for you, because it's almost Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
Get tickets for you, your mom, your dad, your granny and them, and your best friend, and their mom and dad, and y'all all come out to the show.
Absolutely. And if you have any friends, family, whatever that are veterans, grab a hold of them. Say, hey, come with me. I got something to show you.
It's going to be a great show. That is this Saturday night, BCW Draw the Line, live, TMW Event Center, Leveland, Texas. Bring a bull for Logan Knight.
Bring a what?
A bull.
Oh, I thought he said bullet. I was like,
No.
whoa.
The thoughts and opinion. So, before we get into main roster moments, if you haven't done so already, hit the socials, click the likes, the thumbs, the subscribes, click all the things. Go to all the places, click all the things. It helps us. It shows us who's watching, who's listening, gives us an idea of where to go with things. So if you get the opportunity, go to the socials, click all the things. That brings us to our main roster moments. And I am upset and angry about our first moment. It's a moment that comes from SmackDown. You've got Nia Jax in the ring. You've got Liv Morgan in the ring. They're talking about the match they're going to have at Crown Jewel. And out comes Tiffany Stratton. It's Tiffy time. She comes out to the ring. And she says, you know what? I'm cashing this in at Crown Jewel. And Nia just looks at her and like, she finally decides, I'm probably going to cash it in on you, Liv Morgan. And I've got a question. If I win that belt, does Dom come with it? Because I could use some dirty in my life. What?
Okay.
Now, see, we're going to talk about this. Dominic Mysterio, I hope you're listening. I hope you're watching. I hope you're listening. Look, man. Explain to me how this happens. How do you go from I'm with mommy to never mind, I ain't going to be with mommy. I'm going to be with Liv Morgan to now Tiffany Stratton wants some dirty in her life. Dominic Mysterio looked like a cockroach. How the hell is this happening?
Well, once upon a time, there was several women in this business that decided that they were going to be with whoever the champion was. Now the shoe is on the other foot.
I was finna say he ain't been a champion a day in his life.
No, I'm not talking. Yes, he has. He's been the North American champion.
For like 10 seconds.
It still counts.
This guy.
But that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the shoe's on the other foot now. Now Dom is the accessory to the belt.
I'm just trying to say, a mullet and a porn stash does not a hero make. And I don't understand how these girls don't see it. You know, I gotta leave it alone. But if that's not enough,
They dig the bad guy. He did time. Come on.
look, don't make me say bad words on my podcast. He did time.
Hey, it may have been 2 seconds, but time is time.
There's 2 seconds in county. In county. Comes back a hardened criminal. Shut up. If it wasn't enough, though, that, you know, you have all of this going on with the ladies of SmackDown that have lost their damn mind. Lin-Manuel Miranda in the crowd. And I saw a video later on that he decided, you know, because it's close to Halloween, right?
Mm-hmm.
He decided to dress up. And of all the things he could have dressed up, I mean, he was Hamilton. He's done all sorts of things. Of all the things he could have dressed up as, he dressed up as Dominic Mysterio.
I mean, if you see what that's attracting, therefore, I mean, why not?
Well, I mean, you make a point there, okay? You make a point. I'll give you that one. But still, come on, man. So we're gonna move on from that a little bit, because if I keep talking about Dom, my blood pressure is gonna go up. I'm gonna say things that will get me in trouble. Indy Hartwell, Candice LeRae, done. Apparently, Indy Hartwell is being released. She's got 90 days,
Mm-hmm.
and then she's going to be a free agent.
Yep.
I mean, I hate to see it, but I don't know where that leaves Candice LeRae. You know, superstar in her own right, don't get me wrong, but storyline-wise, I don't know where that puts Candice LeRae.
Well, you also realize that they're not renewing Baron Corbin's contract.
Nope, Baron Corbin, Indy Hartwell, and there was one other. I don't remember who it was.
Rick, if you're in the chat, help us out with that one, because
Yeah,
I can't
who the other
remember.
one was. Of course, the thing everybody's waiting for on SmackDown, this being a go-home show for Crown Jewel, was the fact that you had Jimmy and Roman come out, and here comes main event Jey Uso. Comes out, and I love what he had to say. You know, we're equals. I'm not a henchman for nobody. You and me, you're not my tribal chief. You're my cousin. And if you want to do it like that, let's go do this match at Crown Jewel. But if you're not about that, then you can walk away now. What say you? Roman Reigns looked at Jey and looked at Jimmy, looked at the crowd, shook his head a little bit, put the mic to his mouth and said, "Yeet." Place went nuts. It was great. Loved it. That's that OG bloodline getting back together, and I like what I'm seeing. It's moving faster than I thought it would. We'll discuss that in the last show, but I like what I'm seeing. We had, well, I'll get to that when I get to Crown Jewel. We have a match set up for Crown Jewel. That's a 4-way women's tag team match. And at SmackDown, we actually had one person from each team in a match. And the big thing about that for me was you had this whole Deadpool versus Wolverine thing going on with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. I thought that was cool. I dug it. Again, it's Halloween. So I did, well, it was day after Halloween, but close enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I really dug that. In that match, I saw something that you don't normally see, though. And that was Bianca Belair trying to put the KOD, put the KOD on Lash Legend.
Mm-hmm.
And having trouble doing it because she's so much taller. So that's the first time I've ever seen her struggle with the KOD.
Well, I've seen her struggle a couple of times with Nia.
Well, I mean, come on now. We had a match that was Randy and Cody versus Gunther and Kaiser. Man, Randy keeps eyeing that belt. He's talking to Cody in the locker room, and Cody leans down to get some of his stuff together, and Randy's eyes are just locked on the belt.
Well, I mean, do you blame him?
I don't, but I'm waiting for the shoe to fall or the RKO to drop as it would be in this situation. It's coming. I feel like by Mania, we get at least one iteration of Cody versus Randy.
I honestly think that Randy Orton will be winning the Royal Rumble.
It's a possibility. A very strong possibility.
Orton wins the Royal Rumble. WrestleMania is going to be Randy versus Cody.
Bring it. I'm about it. KO showing up after the match, that was kind of like you're kind of waiting for that, right?
Yeah,
Because-
KO is KO.
You've got KO and Randy going into Crown Jewel, so Randy's out there. You kind of expect KO to show up.
Mhm.
I wish he did, and it was a good way to go off the air. Crown Jewel, starting with the Bloodline match, good move.
Mhm.
I think that was a solid start to the show.
Yeah.
Was kind of surprised to see the Temu Bloodline win.
I wasn't.
I really thought that one was gonna. I thought the OG was gonna take it.
The OG is not at a place yet for that to happen.
And that's fair. That's fair. One thing I did notice watching Roman Reigns though was like because Roman and Jimmy came out together to Roman's music,
Mhm.
and then Jay had his own entrance, which there's like this look of can you believe this guy? Like this disgust look, this disdain look, all during that entrance. But as the match went on, and you got the brothers working together, that disdain look went to one of, I'm feeling this now. So I did like seeing that. Like I liked the way that worked out. Four-way women's tag match was outstanding in that it did a good job showcasing everyone, even with the misses that happened. Chelsea landed on her side as opposed to her back in a slam, and it looked uncomfortable. It looked
Mhm.
very uncomfortable. Io Insane missing a catapult. I mean, and even when they did miss something, they recovered like that and smooth. Like it was very smooth.
Well, that's one of the things that you kind of got to do when you're in the business is you realize mistakes are going to happen. What you got to do is you got to keep going. You got to keep recovering, because 85% of the people are not your average mark.
That's very true. Keep that thought process too, because we're going to talk about that also.
So if you don't necessarily let somebody know that there's a problem, most of the time nobody will actually see the problem.
That's true. That's very true. Seth Rollins versus Big Bronson Reed was really good for Reed. So not only is he getting the rub from a multi-time champion in Seth Rollins,
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rollins did a good job of selling things in a way that made Bronson Reed look like a monster. Up to and including the fact that it took 2 curb stomps and a super curb stomp from the top rope to take him down.
Regular curb stomp, a curb stomp on the stairs,
And then one from the
and
top
then
rope.
one from the top rope.
And still, I think Bronson was, half a second from kicking out.
It's a whole Michael Myers situation where it doesn't matter how many bullets go into him. It may take him a couple of seconds, but by God, he's going to keep coming after you. And Bronson Reed is the epitome of WWE monster movie.
Yeah, no question about it. And it's only going to go up from here. Like I look forward to seeing what we do with Bronson Reed after seeing what happened there. Randy versus Kevin Owens is what a grudge match should be. That should be what you're looking for when you have a grudge match. Like it wasn't even a match. No one really takes the L. It's a straight up fight.
I don't believe the bell even rang.
No, it didn't. They called the match off because
They
they
couldn't
couldn't-
keep their hands off of one another.
they couldn't keep them apart long enough to start the match. And so here's pulling the curtain back a little bit, looking at some of the stuff that you see when you're not your average mark. This is good for both of them because one, nobody lost. Nobody had to lose to the other person.
Mm-hmm.
The match didn't happen, so you can continue this on as long as you want to. Like it's not something where you put an end to it at Crown Jewel. So being able to continue with this, it was a good move. I like the way they played this out.
You don't want to continue. You don't want to continue the same thing over and over and over and over again until it gets monotonous and old, where it's like, why do I care about that? Why am I going to buy a ticket there and then the bell's not going to even ring?
No, you're right. You're right in that, and that's why I liked this match so much. They're going to do this, and then they'll move this into an actual match, one that the bell does ring in, and they tear each other apart. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I don't see there being in-ring introductions happening.
No, it's going to be there in the ring. It's time to fight. Actually, the way I see it is we're going to get Randy probably introduced, and he's going to be doing his whole thing on the ropes. Owen's music's going to hit, and he's a fireball all the way to the ring, and it's on right then. Time to fight right now. So
I'm down for it.
Bring it on. I like it.
You don't really. It doesn't really show, but that's kind of the same situation. Randy Orton is 285 pounds right now.
Mm-hmm.
He is a monster in himself.
85 pounds will whoop your. You know what I'm
but
going with that.
It comes down to it. That's a lot of people like to see that, as Biggie coined, big meaty men slapping meat.
Mm-hmm.
And those two are just that.
And both of them brawlers. That's what you get. Once Randy gets the look, I mean, we all know what that means.
Oh, Randy Orton is not just a brawler.
No, he's very technical.
He is what you call an all-around player.
Mm-hmm.
He is one that you can put in any position you want to, whether it be quarterback or whatever other football term you might have in there. He can do anything, offense, defense, whatever. He is a wild card.
He is. No pun intended. We had Liv versus Nia for the Crown Jewel Championship. The winner of this match is going to be the very first Women's Crown Jewel Champion. And it was announced, I kind of wondered how they were going to do this. And it was announced, I believe it was during the kickoff show, that the belts themselves, those huge, gaudy, 50 carats worth of diamonds belt, is going to stay at the WWE Experience in Saudi Arabia.
Thank God, because that thing is an eyesore.
Well, do you know how much it would cost to ship that back to the United States?
I don't want to know. I work for the post office and I don't want to know.
So what they did is, of course, you're going to have your winners. They're getting a ring, almost like a Super Bowl ring,
Mm-hmm.
for winning.
Have you
the
seen
match.
it?
I have. I saw Liv's.
It's gorgeous.
It is. It's an awesome ring, and I like the way they're doing it. I think it's cool the way they're working that out. The match was way better than I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting Nia to be getting the beat down to begin with, and she's going to, for lack of better terms, Hulk out and just destroy Liv Morgan. And that is not how that worked. Tiffy came down. Tiffy came. Tried to cash in. Nia told her, nope, it's not your turn. Get out of here. Which she started to do, but decided, no, I'm not going to. And then all hell broke loose. We had Nia take out Dom, Raquel, and Liv. And then we had, what was it? Was it Dom that caused the distraction? Yeah, I think Dom was trying to get the the briefcase to Liv.
Yeah, Dom slid the case in. Referee followed the case, got him distracted just enough for Raquel to come in, do her thing, and then Liv jumped off, hit her finish, 1, 2, 3. It was all said and done. Liv is the one that is going to be in the history books as the first crown jewel champion for the females.
And let's step back and look at that for a second. Look at the number of ladies in this card
Mm-hmm.
and think back to 5 years ago
Mm-hmm.
when that was the first time you could put a woman on a WWE card in Saudi.
Mm-hmm.
The leaps and bounds in the women's division in Saudi. So kudos to the WWE for that, and kudos to Saudi for making that happen. So I do want to point that out. That's
It's definitely steps in the right direction, and they're going to keep doing steps in the right direction. And that's good as far as being a human being.
I agree with you. If you think back 6 years ago, you couldn't have a woman on the card.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward 6 years, and we've got a woman's crown jewel champion.
Mm-hmm.
So, congrats to what turned out to be a very tearful, tears of joy, mind you, but very tearful Liv Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Triple H came out, looked like he was going to lift her off the mat, raising her hand. It was funny.
I mean, she is, but what, 85 pounds, soaking wet?
Soaking wet, yeah. Of course, we also had the triple threat. That was match of the night for me. LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade. All three of these guys shined, and the crowd let them know about it. Like, there was times when the crowd was cheering for Melo. There was times when the crowd was all the way behind Andrade. There was times the crowd was all the way behind LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah. See, there was I had a technical glitch during that match. About the time LA Knight hit the BFT, my phone rang.
No.
There's this guy named Guapo.
I don't know. Damn that guy.
So,
I didn't know you were watching it. Talking about the BFT though, the BFT to both opponents, that was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. LA Knight retains. I thought Melo was gonna take it in this one, but LA Knight retains the U.S. title, and I thought it was great. It was a damn good match. Like I said, match of the night for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's saying something when you have a match where Cody and Gunther are going at each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the next match to talk about. This was a wrestling match, like a real wrestling match. Not a bunch of, looking for weapons, not a bunch of interference, not a bunch of we're going to use weapons and stuff. This was a wrestling match, and I dig it.
Those two put on, this term gets used very loosely, and I think this is the way, I think Gunther and Cody probably went out there and said, you know what, we're gonna make them rethink and redefine this term, but those two actually literally put on a wrestling clinic.
Yes, they did, and I enjoyed every minute of it. Then you know what I enjoyed the most out of the whole thing? We got the finish. Cody wins. He is the very first men's crown jewel champion.
Mm-hmm.
But it was what happened after the pin that got me. You expect certain things because, that's what we're conditioned to think. The match is over. The bad guy's going to come attack the good guy, blah, blah. No, Gunther walked over to Cody, shook his hand, and gave him a look like, you got me this time. But we're going to run this back.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do this again. And you know what? I respect the hell out of that.
For sure.
I was not expecting the sportsmanship ending.
Well, the ring is sacred.
That's
the deal with Gunther. The ring is sacred. And if he has somebody that is a legitimate opponent, he is going to recognize that person is a legitimate opponent. And Cody beat him dead to rights in the middle of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Basically reversed the hold and got him before he could realize what happened.
The Bret Hart ending is.
Yeah. It was fantastic.
It was. And the thing I like about it most, you find yourself in a match where it's champion versus champion. And if one champion wins, in any way other than the way it happened, you stand the risk of lessening the other championship.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they did this did not do that.
Yeah, that was the main worry I had with the whole situation is, oh my God, it's going to basically put it to where, you're going to have one weaker division than the other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Gunther walked away with any kind of downfall to this, even though he had his shoulders pinned to the mat. I believe honestly that this wasn't a bad situation for him.
No, I don't think he walks away any less than what he was to begin coming into the match. And I love the way that they did that, because he's just as strong a champion coming out of the match as he is going into the match. Both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, all in all, I really, really dug Crown Jewel. And that's a lot coming from me because, like I said on the last show, I have so many negative things attached to Saudi shows that it was really good to see one that was great.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoyed that. We also had, okay. How the hell did Cody get that belt around his waist?
Very carefully.
It had to have been. That belt's like this tall.
It covered up from his thighs to his chest.
Yeah, it's huge, this belt. I don't know.
It's gaudy.
I don't know how he could wear it. Like
I'm sorry.
Like Liv, it would go from chin to knees.
Well, the female version of it was
It was
slightly smaller.
True.
But even if I was still wrestling and I had a promoter come up and say, I'm going to put this belt on you, and showed me that, I'd have turned around and go, dude, sorry, find somebody else. Cause no. I am not trying to put that in airport security.
That doesn't fit in my bag. Sorry.
I am not spending the extra money for an extra bag for that thing.
Right. Well, that takes us into some of the moments from Monday night. We started off with Monday Night Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of got to say it. Liv Morgan is the GOAT right now, and she let everybody know it. You don't believe she's the GOAT? Ask her. She'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's talking, and out comes Jade Pool. I don't know. The outfit she had on had the Deadpool vibes, and I loved it. Like that's I think it was Rick that I messaged like as soon as she came out and says, I'm digging the Jade Pool. You get Jade and Bianca come out and say, don't think we forgot about y'all two. Y'all want to scrap? Let's scrap. And Adam Pearce, I dig Adam Pearce. He walks out and says, whoa, back up, everybody. Back up, calm down. We're not doing this. And so while he's trying to get everything calm, here comes Liv Morgan running her mouth to Bianca. Says, what, you going to do something about it? You going to do something about it? Do something then. And Bianca slapped the life out of her. Like, I saw Bianca's hand, and I saw Liv's face, and I saw her soul over here. That's how hard Bianca slapped Liv Morgan. And Adam Pearce, with the ultimate screw it moment, says, you know what? We're going to have a battle royal to find out who the number one contender is, and we're going to do it now. Drop the mic, get out of the ring. Take Dom with you. And so that's what we did. We had a number one contenders women's battle royal. I loved it. I thought it was great. And here's why it was great. Yes, we got a number one contender for Liv Morgan's title, but we pushed forward so many storylines with just this one match. You had Ivy Nile and Maxine. You had Belair and Cargill getting pulled out by Liv and Raquel. Like they got Liv and Raquel, even though they're not in the match, eliminated Jade and Bianca. You had a Jade and Bianca stare down, which the crowd went nuts over.
Yeah.
So that, it's coming.
I popped for that.
I did too, I'm not going to lie. And Io and Lyra Valkyria, it was fire. So I could watch those two ladies wrestle every show and be fine with it.
that German suplex
Oh,
on the freaking eight.
yeah, I said ow a lot.
You have no idea.
No, I have not personally been slammed on the ring apron. I'm sure Seth or Chris Watson's going to try to change that, but to this point, I have not, and I don't care to.
Yeah.
But they call that the hardest part of the ring for a reason.
Well, it doesn't
Yeah.
give.
At all.
That's where the metal is.
Mm-hmm.
So
While I haven't been slammed on an apron before, I have put together a ring, so I know. But I do like I said, how this furthered all of these stories. The New Day's Downward Spiral. So the New Day has a match with what are they now? The War Raiders. They're not the Viking Raiders anymore. Now
they're the War Raiders.
And it was a great match, but then Kofi's got everything going, and Xavier tags himself in. They end up losing the match. Kofi's not happy at all.
No, I don't know if it was an exclusive or if it happened to be an interview on there or whatever. The Final Testament was getting interviewed,
Mm-hmm.
and in the background, Kofi and Xavier were throwing stuff at each other,
I believe it.
going back and forth, yelling at each other in the hallway.
Now, I saw something as well that I don't know if it was an exclusive or exactly what it was, but it was Kofi coming in talking to Adam Pearce in Adam Pearce's office. And Adam Pearce wants to dedicate an episode of Raw to the New Day. 10 years. 10 years as a tag team. So, said he'd like to talk to them both, but they've had this whole thing going, so they can't both be there. But yeah, so that could be something that's coming in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Interested to see how that turns out. As we talk about things that we're interested to see, the whole Miz being kidnapped thing, there's so many layers to this. Because, you had Paul Ellering get taken out by Bo Dallas,
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Howdy. And then the Miz gets kidnapped while the Miz is between a rock and a hard place because he's trying to apologize to Bo Dallas and make things good with the Wyatt Six. But at the same time, he's got to figure out what Karrion Kross, there's got to be some kind of retribution because they attacked Paul Ellering. So he's kind of caught in the middle of all that. He goes to his bus and I forgot his name. Dexter Lumis, Mercy, was waiting for him, kidnaps him. So it looks like they're after him because of what he did to the way he turned on Truth, all that. But we get another layer added to it from the Wyatt Six as they show a video where Miz told, it's from, I think from 2017, 2016, 2017, where Miz told Bo Dallas
And Curtis Axel.
that you guys are nothing, but I can fix that. All you have to do is join me. And they became his Miztourage.
Mm-hmm.
And neither career really took off.
Actually, both of them got released.
Exactly. So it makes you wonder, we've had all this time that it was, the whole family thing and don't turn on your family, all of that. But now it seems almost like it's some retribution for things that like it's a vengeance thing between Bo Dallas and The Miz. So you kind of have to wonder.
Well, Bray Wyatt's original intentions with The Fiend was actually revenge on certain people that he felt like that had done him wrong.
That's true.
So in the same light, basically, I believe that there's a lot of underlying things that are going on with all of that.
True. I do agree with that. I'm interested to see where it goes from here. I'm interested to see how do they play this? Like, where do you go from here? Are they going to keep The Miz hostage? Are they going to break him down until they can bring him into the fold? Like what is the plan? So I'm interested to see where it goes. We had the Usos
Mm-hmm.
call out. Well, first we had Sami Zayn come out and start trying to explain what happened, because there was a certain haluva kick that made contact with the original tribal chief.
Mm-hmm.
The boys were not happy about this, not happy at all. And so Sammy starts to explain. Jay comes down and says, look, I need to know, was that an accident or not? And Jimmy doesn't even give me a chance to answer. Says, I watched the footage. That was not an accident. He kicked him like that on purpose. And we get the back and forth, and we get Jay saying, look, man, he's not blood, but he's family. You know, it's Sammy Uso. Crowd ate that up like nothing.
I was wrong.
Hmm?
That's what Jay said.
Yeah,
I was wrong.
You're not blood, but you are family. Yep.
Which goes back to what they were talking about the week before on Raw.
When you say you wouldn't understand because
You're not family.
Yep. I saw a behind the scenes thing on this, and it was the Usos walking back through the curtain, and Jimmy's like, Sammy Uso? When's the last time he felt Usi? You know, as far as that, when's the last time you felt Usi? And Jay's like, when's the last time your ass felt Usi? So I'm trying to feel Usi, but you're out here talking about Sammy Uso. And so like they're going back and forth. It was great. Like that's the Usos I remember right there.
Yeah.
But it almost feels like they're going to pull it back together with Sammy. So I'm afraid what we're going to see is that thing where they're pulling it together, and then it explodes. And we find out, dun dun dun, Sammy was with Solo all along. I don't know, man. I don't want to see it go down like that, but I think that it might.
There's tons of elements that nobody's gonna see. I mean, there's gonna be all kinds of different things that are gonna be going on with that thing.
I think Paul Heyman put it best. You know, we're in like the fourth inning.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're not even to the seventh inning stretch yet. we got a ways to go. Dragon Lee and Chad Gable. I need some of that every show. What a pairing.
Those two have really good ring chemistry.
They do, and their styles are different enough that they can go move for move for move for move for move, and both of them still look strong.
Those two remind me of a young Rey Mysterio and Dean Malenko.
Yes.
In WCW.
Mm-hmm. I can go with that. And it's one of those matches that I could watch every show and be just fine with it. It's that good.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we also had the four-way for number one contendership on the men's side. For just a moment, to take this full circle, for just a moment, I thought Dom was going to win this match. And I was going to say words.
I did too.
Like I was going to create new bad words. Because no.
You were going to go make some macaroni in your kitchen, come back and throw that shit at the TV.
You already know. That was fixing to happen. Yeah, macaroni and Dom. Yeah.
Just the way when we're missing the big piece of this. Bronson Reed comes out in the middle of this.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about that.
And just destroys everybody.
Set.
Except for Don. Because Dom is over in the corner, barely peeking over with this evil grin on his face going, thank God that's not me. And as soon as Bronson Reed starts coming to that corner where he's at to go give the tsunami to Damian Priest, Dom just like drops and starts selling real quick. So he's just out of the way and he doesn't get tsunami'd himself.
I mean, I get Dom, I can't stand you. Ooh, you cockroach, I can't stand you. But that was smart.
Mm-hmm.
The playing hurt. That was
I honestly thought whenever he came off with that frog splash on Damian Priest, I thought that was it. That was going to be the winner. And I really got excited for the whole thing because I was like, if Dom becomes the number one contender, then we get to see Gunther stretched the crap out of this guy.
I just want to, the only saving grace there would be for me for Dominic Mysterio to be the number one contender is the opportunity to see Gunther turn Dom's chest into chicken tendies with his damn chops.
Hit him enough of it, he's going to have the sauce too.
You know, but it is good to see that, you know, Seth came out also, and Bronson Reed tsunami'd him through the announce table.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bronson Reed just came out and annihilated people. But it was good to see once you get past all that, Priest did pick up the win. Because I am excited about a Priest and Gunther match. You know, both of them put on good matches. It's going to be a good show.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure when. Like, I may have missed.
I don't think we have a date set yet for that particular encounter. But you know, I'm glad that Priest is. You know, you can see the road to redemption, basically.
Yeah. Now
that he's not, you know, he's the baby face in the situation now. He's the uber baby face in the situation now. And he's still, he's kind of got the Judgment Day in his rearview mirror.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a good thing. You know, I still don't think that him and the Judgment Day are clear, that all of that is going to be cleared up.
No, I don't think it's done, but it's back burner for now.
Right. But Priest versus Gunther is a very, very marketable situation.
Yeah, very. So I'm going to move on from WWE for a minute.
Can I hold you off one more second?
Sure.
Because I don't see it on your notes here, but we had a segment where your national treasure, R-Truth, walks up to Damian Priest and apologizes to him.
Oh wait, well, we got to set this one up right. You remember back in the day when The Rock first came back? You know, when he was before the final boss, all that, he came back and he's like, "Hey, what's up, man? How you doing with this?" And then he goes over to Lana. "Hey, I remember when you did that one thing with, you know, the thing I'm talking about." And you know, he's just, you know, happy-go-lucky walking down the hallway. That's what R-Truth was doing. He's a national treasure. Anybody that says differently, I'll have words with you. First person he walks into is Pete Dunne. And Pete Dunne walks out and says, "My name is Pete Dunne." Or, "Pete, what's up, man?" Say, "You're not going to call me Butch?" He says, "No, I don't like Butch. You have a good day, Mr. Pete Dunne." And Pete Dunne's like, "What?" Left him all kinds of confused. Gets to Damian Priest, says, I need to apologize to you." He's like, "Apologize for what?" "For kicking you out of the Judgment Day. You know, Tom and Nick, they were in my head, but we did you dirty. And do you accept my apology?" He's like, "Yeah, I do. Whatever. I accept your apology." He's like, "Whatever you do, though, don't call
Butch Pete."
Yeah, don't call Butch Pete. He hates that." And he's like, "Como? What?" And then he passes by, Chad Gable and goes, "Man, Kurt Angle shrunk. It's true. It's damn true." This is why I love me some R-Truth right there. Just that whole segment was great. I laughed. It's true. It's damn true. Yeah, Raw was good. But with the good comes the bad.
Yep.
So, notes from the clown show. Tony Khan, you're a clown.
Yeah, what'd he say?
So, the Hurt Syndicate.
That's probably the only good thing I can see right now.
But they're gonna make it bad.
Tony Khan has just this magical ability to take gold, put it in his hand, and gets a giant turd.
Yeah. It's reverse Midas.
It so is. Toodaloo.
No, he's not on that show.
Anyway, continue.
I'm concerned. I like Shelton Benjamin. I do. I like Bobby Lashley. I do. MVP, I can do with or without, you know. But I'm so afraid that they're going to run them into this great big, you know, whole thing and then be like, "Okay, well, that didn't work. Y'all go away." We're gonna do something else shiny, and it's gonna kill some careers, and I don't like that. We got Rick on here saying NXT and AEW head to head last night was 619,000 for NXT and 523,000 for AEW. I mean, you kind of saw that one coming. You had to.
So NXT being preempted off of Tuesday nights gets another shot at Wednesday. Okay, so they're on their off night,
Mm-hmm.
and AEW is in their normal time slot, and they got their butts handed to them.
Well, it doesn't hurt that NXT was coming to you live from the 2300 arena.
It doesn't matter. Tony Khan tried to load it up with all kinds of matches because I know, we all know that Tony Khan believes that it's not about the moments, it's about the matches.
That is why he is a clown. 100%. That's why he's a clown. But I can give some news. Like, I'm going to break some news.
Okay, break it.
About the clown show.
I'll try to fix it.
Malachi Black, it appears, is coming to the end of his contract, and there's talk that he is leaving AEW.
Mm-hmm.
I've got it here in front of me now. I've had this further confirmed on X by Brody King.
Okay.
I am quoting here from Brody King. I'm going to miss my brother Malachi. I heard after last night's match, Malachi Black is leaving wrestling forever and starting a traveling cat circus. I knew it was his true calling when he showed me a video of his cats reenacting a move for move Ospreay versus Ricochet match. Like, when your own talent is clowning, I mean,
Oh my God.
I'm just saying.
Oh man.
Kudos to Brody King. I love it. That was great. There are, like, I'm not against seeing Malachi Black. I'm gonna go back to being Aleister Black. Come on home. Because as funny as that is, there is talk that he has every intention of, when his contract's up, of leaving AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Do you
I'm-
blame him?
Not even a little bit.
Miro's got some issue with the fact that he's in Bulgaria and he's staying the hell away from TV, hoping that somebody will forget that he was even on AEW.
There's just, all right, you and I discussed this before the show tonight. This is my other problem with AEW. Set aside all of the it's just matches and we're gonna do these crazy things. The quality of wrestling that should be there for a show of that caliber is not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's big misses. Like, I'm not going to be the one that says AEW doesn't have misses, because you see the hits that hit here instead of up here like they're supposed to.
You mean WWE?
Yeah, WWE has some of those things from time to time. It's rare, but you catch them. But when you're Adam Cole and you're going against Malachi Black, and Malachi Black's going to flip you, and you go early and it looks like you just flipped and landed on your back because, I don't know, you wanted to, that's a problem. Like, that's not making a hit too far out. That's not, giving a kick. That's selling something that hasn't happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, how do you do that? And it's Adam Cole. Like, I know he knows better than that.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy. It bothers me to know
Whatever happened, and Adam Cole is not the only one that is guilty of this.
No.
Adam Cole, Ricochet, people that went through the WWE training system basically got over to AEW and said, you know what? I don't need any of that stuff that I learned over there. I'm going to come over here and just do my own thing. And I'm going to get over and I'm going to have 5-star matches. And Dave Meltzer's going to send me cake Fuck, I don't know.
All right.
But
For anybody that's watching that does merch, I need a shirt that says Dave Meltzer's going to send me cake. I will wear it proudly.
I mean, really and truly, they go over there and they get this structured foundation
Mm-hmm.
that takes people from this level all the way to this level. And I see your comment over there. We'll get to that in just a second.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in just a second.
But and then all of a sudden, whenever you decide to leave there, you just keep you didn't even pack your bag and get all of the stuff that got all the stuff that you had over there to move. You just left it all there and said, "No, I'll just get new stuff when I get over there."
Mm-hmm.
And you forget your basics. Really,
It drives me crazy. And
Ricochet sat there and missed a kick by about this much on the Beast Mortis, and he sold it.
Yeah.
He sold it, and it was like, really?
It bugs me to no end. Like that is my pet peeve in professional wrestling is if you mess up, man, you messed up. It happens to the best of people.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
But don't sell a kick that's nowhere near, and don't sell a move before the move happens. That's like me standing in the middle of the ring and you running at me to do a clothesline, and you hit the ropes and I fall down. That's it drives me crazy. For these reasons and so many more, Tony Khan, you're a clown, and that AEW is in fact the clown show, and that was your notes from the clown show. Something I want to talk about. We got just a couple of minutes left. WWE ID.
Mm-hmm.
I dig what WWE is doing. They're giving a path for independent wrestlers to get to the WWE through schools like Ring of Honor and the Nightmare Factory, and what was the other one?
Ring of Honor.
Not Ring of Honor. I'm sorry. Reality of Wrestling.
Reality of Wrestling. Seth Rollins' school in Davenport, Iowa,
The Nightmare
and
Factory.
Nightmare Factory.
Right.
Those are the three right now, and there apparently there's more to come. I'm guessing Jacob Pritchard's is going to be on that list, considering that's
I can't see
that's
how it
Kane
wouldn't
and
be.
I mean, Dr. Tom trained The Rock.
Yeah, I can't see
So-
how that one doesn't make the list at some point. But something Rick put out there, Cappuccino Jones, somebody we've had, an Oklahoma talent that we've had the opportunity to see
Mm-hmm.
at Squared Circle Pro last year, a couple of times.
Yeah.
Got WWID. So big congrats, Cappuccino Jones. So happy for you, brother. That is so awesome. Can't wait to
Elite.
see you do big things.
Elite Wrestling Academy out of New England area is the fourth.
Okay.
Who do we know who the trainer is over there?
So we are getting a fourth school already, and I assume this is going to grow as time goes on to a fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. We're going to have WWE ID schools all over the United States. There's no way in my mind that Reality of Wrestling is the only school in Texas. Rick says he's checking to see who the trainer is at Elite Wrestling Academy. I think this is an awesome thing for our independent wrestlers.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, because before this, it was a matter of make a tape, send it to WWE, highlight reel. Put a highlight reel together, put a match, mic work, put it all together, send it to WWE, and hope to hear something.
Highlight reel is the worst thing that you can do.
I know.
A highlight reel is not something that WWE is interested in. I've put my application in at WWE. I know what they're looking. I know what they're looking for, and they don't want to see you do 5,000 flips or anything else. They want to see if you know what you're doing. They want to see that you know that you have your basics together, and that they know you're a teachable person.
Which is what you need when you're making your way in. Because if you so happen to make it to the Performance Center without that foundation, it's bad days for you.
Mm-hmm.
Just no question about that. We are waiting on Rick to see if he finds that out. But as we do, we've come to that 9:30 time frame that kind of does it for us tonight. I've enjoyed all of the chat. I've enjoyed having everybody with us. Of course, I've enjoyed having you here, Mike. It's always a good time when you show up. Mike Hollow and Scott Reed, Elite Pro Wrestling Training Center. Okay. So that is our 4th school for WWEID. That's such a good deal.
Yeah, I've got some schools that I think should be on that list, and hopefully we'll have it all together. But obviously big moves are getting made.
They are, and it's nice to see somebody that I've had the opportunity to interact with personally get an opportunity like this, and I wish nothing but the best for Cappuccino.
Okay. Killer connected to Killer Kowalski School and Ricky Steamboat.
That makes sense. But as I said, we are at the end of the show. Real quick, anything you want to throw out there?
Support local wrestling. If you're in the West Texas area and you can't get out to BCW this Saturday, SCP has something, that's for the more adult audience, which is, some people like that better.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have an immense amount of talent at SCP coming up in 2 weeks.
Yep. So November 16th, we do have Squared Circle Pro, and it's live. Jake's Backroom, Lubbock, Texas. We're having a match during that show called Gauntlet Armageddon, and I've heard it referred to as the Royal Rumble from Hell.
Yes, I've been involved in it.
Yeah, that's why I threw it your way, because I know you've been there. You've been a part of it.
It's definitely a whole bunch of fun and not fun at all in the same go.
Well, and you're going to find out way more about this coming up next week, because Monday, of course, we've got the show in Levelland on Saturday, BCW Draw the Line.
Absolutely, Rick.
If you can drop 40 at the local theater, you can come watch local wrestling. Yes. Well worded. But Not Your Average Mark, of course, going to be at BCW Draw the Line November 9th, this Saturday. Next Saturday, we will be at Squared Circle Pro. But in between, starting Monday, we're going to be doing our week-long run-up to Squared Circle Pro. So make sure you're catching the shows. Make sure you're watching the socials. Check out BCW's socials. Check out Squared Circle Pro's socials. Check out NotYourAverageMark.com and
click all the things.
Until next week, or I guess until Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Until Saturday, I am Guapo.
I'm Mike Caldwell.
And we're not
your average marks.
I'll see y'all Saturday. Yeah.